I'm very interested as to how you guys feel about the direction that technology has taken us. You know, with everything's visual effects and everything, and we've been finding this weird renaissance back to practical puppetry, practical effects and stuff. Like, I love that the new Star Wars trilogy really put a highlight on that. But what do you guys see as being the future of puppetry in this very visual effects based world of filmmaking that we're finding ourselves in?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Well, I mean, one important thing is every puppet and everything a puppet does is an effect. It's all an illusion. I mean, it's everything it does. I mean, it can't pick up a phone. And it has to be an effect. I mean, you know, that sort of ties into, you know, integrating any way to help the puppet.
Right.
Is, you know, is A-okay in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's an advertising company that I've been working with to do some like commercial spots, and there's a director there who has a background in puppetry, and he's come up with a digital puppetry system that they're calling the Mill Mascot. And what it is, it's a little sensor that sits on your desk, and I put my hands up like this, like I'm playing a theremin, and I'm able to control a CG character that's fully rendered and looks beautiful in real time. And I'm puppeteering him. This hand is moving his body around. My fingers, as I move them, will trigger different like eye blinks or mouth opening and closing. And this hand will be his other hand. So it's just like I'm performing a live hand puppet. And I'm having to, you know, with my hands create the weight, because without that, he's just kind of floating in the air. And so there's stuff like that that's coming out. There's a company that's created this really interesting that I haven't had a chance to play with because it's not out on Android. But on your iPhone, you put your hand out like this, and it puts a 2D puppet over your hand. And when you do this, it talks and it moves around just like a real puppet does. It's amazing. And so there's stuff like that. Henson has a great system where they've got your hand in a glove, and so you're getting a tactile connection to a puppet, and you move it, and that triggers the digital puppet that's on screen, which is super cool. I think that when CGI came out and people saw Jurassic Park, they thought it was all CG effects. They thought it was all that, and because a lot of it was, but also a lot of it wasn't. Even the CG effects weren't fully CG. They were animated by stop motion animators, which is, a lot of people don't know that, and that's amazing, and that's why the animation looks so good. So there was like this boom, this housing crisis, you know, of CG effects, where everyone was like, we've got to have CG effects in here. Clash of the Titans happened, and everyone went, okay, whoa, we need to slow down. Like, this is getting out of hand. And folks started like slowly kind of marrying practical effects and visual effects back together again. The prequel to the movie The Thing was a really good example of where they were starting to bring back practical effects that involve puppetry into visual effects. Unfortunately, a lot of the effects were replaced by visual effects, which is really awful, but it was still a crawl towards that. And now it's becoming more prevalent. Just like you said in Star Wars, there are so many puppets in that film. And like BB-8 is a puppet. It's not a CG effect. There's some shots, of course, but for the most part, it's a puppet. It's not even a remote control like gyroscopic thing. It's literally a ball on a rod that a guy pushes,
big blue stick,
like he's mowing in the yard. It's incredible.
That's amazing.
But I think we're going to see more of a healthy relationship between visual effects and practical effects in more and more films, to where one isn't replacing the other. They're just working together. Even in The Dark Crystal, a lot of shots had a lot of visual effects everywhere. And that, you know, we can't totally escape that, because there's some things that can't happen. Like in one of the carriage scenes in The Dark Crystal, the entire set has been green screened because all the puppeteers have to be removed.
Right.
So we're never going to get rid of it. One is never going to replace the other. But I think people are realizing that you can't have the other without the other one.